Hi, hello, namaste to all the beautiful and awesome people out there. You're tuned to Coffee and Convo, where we take you to the memorable journeys of the conversation. Continue.
Yeah, guys, before starting the session, we thank all the audience for such a great support. Keep showing your love, follow our page, comment on your thoughts, and tag your friends along with you. Like what was the most inspiring and connecting part of our convo, and DM us for being a part of Coffee and Convo. Let's build a community together.
So it's now time to introduce our guest, more precisely a hero among us. God gives us life, and doctor in turns makes us lead a healthier life, and maybe helps many of others to get a easygoing life. मतलब कि there can be many sort of treatments, but what is better to a patient? It is all seen by the doctor. They are moreover like lifesavers, and I don't think it's a good comparison between the doctor and the god. So today we have Dr. Srijan among us. Being more than important doctor himself, he is more humble and calm person, which actually enchants. We welcome Dr. Srijan for Coffee and Convo. I'm Safia.
And I'm Yash. Let the talks begin.
Coffee and Convo, where the conversations get alive.
So Srijan is quite versatile and he has been charismatic speaker. He is a philanthropist and he believes in service and he's very down to earth. I must say that. And I'm very excited to discuss many aspects of the questions that I have in mind from a long time. And yeah, it's quite exciting to have Srijan with us. So firstly, I would like to thank Srijan for making his time out of his busy schedule and being a part of Coffee and Convo. Thank you, Sujan, for that. Please.
Okay, hi everyone. First of all, I have to say that I'm really happy and really excited to be here. So, when Sai told me about this, I was really excited to, come out of my everyday, the hospital patients and everything, and actually finally have a proper conversation with people. So, it's very nice to be able to connect, and I have to say that it's really good that you guys have taken something up like this because I think people should get to know each other more, and especially if still in the student level, when they hear about different people in different courses, different paths in their life, and when they hear about them, they'll get to know more about them. They'll get to understand different courses. So, and not just that, but each person has a different type of philosophy. Each person has a different mindset. So, I believe that the more we interact, the better we get to understand ourselves and better we can tune ourselves. So, I have to say it's a really good effort from you guys, and thank you so much for creating Coffee and
Thank you
Convo.
so much.
Actually, we are glad to have you too. Okay, let's
Thank you.
begin with the questions then. Okay. Starting with the basics, Srijan. అసలు వై మెడిసిన్ అని తీసుకోవాలి అని చెప్పేసి మీకు ఎలా అనిపించింది? లైక్ ఆప్టింగ్ బైపీసీ ఇన్ ఇంటర్ ఇస్ అ వెరీ టఫ్ డెసిషన్ అనమాట. ఇనీషియల్ లో వైట్స్ డాక్టర్ అవ్వాలి అని అనిపిస్తుంది, కానీ సీయింగ్ ద డిసెక్షన్స్ ఆఫ్ ద కాక్రోచ్ అండ్ ఆల్ ఆర్ రియలీ ఏ టఫ్ జాబ్. చాలా మంది అది ఆప్ట్ అవుట్ చేసి ఎంబీఏ ఇలా వేరే వేరే కోర్సెస్ తీసుకుంటారు. అండ్ వీఆర్ హ్యాపీ దట్ యూ హ్యావ్ రీచ్డ్ వాట్ యూ వాంటెడ్. అసలు ఎలా मतलब कि మీకు ఏమంటే ఇంట్రెస్ట్, ప్యాషన్ ఆఫ్ ద సబ్జెక్ట్స్ ఆర్ ఇంట్రెస్ట్ టువర్డ్స్ ద ప్రొఫెషన్?
Okay, actually, many people give a lot of thought about what type of uh, field they're going to, but I don't know. When you're small, when I was small, the only profession I knew other than my father is into business. So other than that, the only person I properly interacted with was my pediatrician, who used to take care of me as a kid. And since then, whenever anyone used to ask me when I was like 5, 6 also, what do you want to become in life? I would just say doctor. And in our first standard, second standard, it'll be like almost the entire class will be either like doctor, teacher, something like that, just 2 3 things. And as we progress, as we get to know more about the subject, many people actually go away. So in the starting, like around fifth or sixth, when we were discussing, many guys were there who wanted to become doctors, but very few of us actually stuck to the end. And I have to say that in my life, there was never a single point where I had any other profession in mind. So it was always like from my early childhood, it was doctor, and it has just stuck. I don't know. I haven't thought. At the most, maybe I'd have just thought, like, okay, IAS is nice, but I never liked anything else more than this profession. So actually, like in the middle, my father didn't, exactly want me to come into this because we have a very good established business. So my father wanted me to go into business, and I am a trivia buff. So I read like 3 4 newspapers a day. I'm a lot into news and current affairs and everything. So my mother was like, "You'll do much better in civil services or something," and I am very good with technology and software and everything. So my sister wanted me to go to engineering. So it was, a lot of people felt that I would do better in other fields. And actually, I used to score more also in other subjects rather than biology. But somehow, this desire to be a doctor, it never left me. And initially, also, as soon as we came to the college, the first year dissections and everything, many people didn't like it. Many people, it took time for them to get adjusted to this. But from the first day of medicine, I was just in awe with the subject, and I don't know, I just love this. I i may be good at other things more than this, but this is where my passion lies.
That's really kind of amazing, like, because that's the decision which you took and you stood on that. You were quite stable on that, and I really appreciate you for that, because I have taken so many decisions in life that I will become this army officer, I will become that engineer, I will become something else. Like, it has been a whole lot of hell with
నీకు
my decisions, and
తోచినవన్నీ చేసేస్తావులే సరే.
ఫైనల్ గా ఇప్పుడు ఏంటో నాకే తెలియట్లేదు వాట్ ఐ ఆమ్ నౌ.
Even now, right? Even at this stage, like in my fifth standard or sixth standard, there's a super specialty hospital in Puttaparthi, which is like absolutely free of cost, and it's a really good hospital. So I happened to go there once, and I just saw the operation theater and everything, and I was like, I'm going to become a surgeon. And in MBBS in the starting, a lot of people wanted to become surgeons. By the time they reach their internship, they've gone away. No, I can't do surgeries. I want to do like peds or radiology or anything. So even that I've stuck. So even after my surgery rotation, other rotations also, I'm like, no, I'm just going to go into surgery. So maybe it was foolish, but once I happen to fix on something, I just go on that. I don't usually change much.
Quite awesome, Srujan. That's really amazing.
That's
So yeah,
something we
Srujan.
need in everyone's personality.
Yeah, that's what.
That stability and all.
Okay. So, well, Srujan, I believe that doctors should be very much, they should be very much strong-minded. Kind of, they need to be tough while having some kind of, while performing operations or anything like that. Because I believe that hospital is a place where we get many kind of negative vibes, because people come with a kind of pain uh, in their body or something, like,
Body
yeah.
and
So, like, how do you kind of maintain your mental stability, like, do you follow any kind of techniques regarding that, or how do you carry up yourself, how do you present yourself, and what are your actual thoughts while performing an operation?
yeah, I think it's a very valid and important question, and I think anybody who wants to pursue this field in their life must ask themselves this before they actually come into this profession. Because it's, in a way, if you work in an office or if you work in another field, every day is a type of excitement in a positive way. So you may have a new project, you may complete some goal, or you may achieve some target, or you may get something done, something of that sort, right? But this is every single day, it is a negative reinforcement. So if you're in a psychiatry, if you go into psychiatry, or if you're in a psychiatry rotation, you'll have people with the most depressing of stories, most, terrible of stories. And just to sit there and listen to them itself, it takes a lot of mental strength. And if you go into a department like medicine, you'll have people who suddenly, collapse suddenly, who just, like, you'll put in a lot of effort, you'll maintain his vitals, you'll do this, that, all sorts of treatments, and nothing will work. Suddenly you'll fall, and you'll feel that whatever you're doing, it's waste. If you're in surgery, sometimes you have to stand for 6 hours, 7 hours in a surgery. And I remember, during my duty days, during my surgery posting, there were times when I would wake up, have breakfast in the morning, and the next meal would be 4 or 3
Next
4 in the next
breakfast.
night. So there, no lunch, no snacks, no dinner. At 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, the cold food which was preserved during by our friends during dinner time, we would eat. And it takes a lot of physical and mental strength to be, initially the first day, first 2 3 times on our duty days, it felt very exciting, but as time passes, like 1 month, 2 months into it, it became very taxing. Like, there were times when I'll be like, why the hell am I doing this? Why can't I just, take 1 minute off, go at least eat a samosa or something and come? And by the time you go, you'll be getting down the stairs, you'll get a call that this work has to be done, this patient is this patient is this. So it takes a lot of mental and physical strength. So one thing which I do is, every day, some time of the day, almost every day, I tell myself why I have come into this, because that will keep you motivated, because ultimately the goal with which I came into this profession is, I want to help people. I want to be able to save people's life. I want that joy when, a patient who was about to die, because of something you did, you were able to save his life. So that that feeling, that satisfaction is that's what's going to motivate me. And I believe that other than your professional schedule, you should have something which you do absolutely every day, something which helps you to, stick you to yourself, to show yourself that you're someone apart from that. So every day morning, on like Sandhyavandanam and puja, if by chance I miss that because of some duty day, I'll take some time of the day to, at least remember God, thank God. So it doesn't have to be just God. Some people may like a sport, some people may like meditation. So I believe something you should keep at least some time in a day, so that you're moved from what you're doing the rest of the day, so that there is something to keep you sane. So I think these two things help me out in this.
Wow. So yeah, that's the trick that's the technique or
Okay.
trick that
That
everyone should be following, and our peace of mind, our time in the day should be more preferable. It's like reliving again. So yeah, thank you for that beautiful thoughts, Rajan.
I agree with your answer. Lafiki, people say dentistry is not that so easy. It's not so tough. It's only about 32 teeth and all. But seriously, we have seen people collapse in the dental chair and die. But it's horrible seeing
I,
that. It's really
I
very negative vibe.
absolutely don't agree. I absolutely don't agree with that, because almost every single accident case which comes to the casualty after we come in from surgery and do the initial stabilization, almost every single time we have to call the OMFS, oral maxillofacial surgeons, because
Yeah.
they have to come and see whatever maxillary damage, face damage, and all are there. So I absolutely don't agree with the thing that dentists just remove cavities and put clips and all. There's a lot more to dentistry than what people think of it.
Yes,
Yeah.
truly.
Okay. So it reminds me back of my prior days when I joined this dentistry and all. Matlab ki there are things simple. Matlab ki like first 3 years of my dentistry also consists of the same subject as medicine. So in my first year, I also had anatomy and we had dissections. So coming to the dissections, okay, what's your experience with holding the dead body, performing on a dead body, and how did you feel?
Yeah, actually, in among my classmates, there were, I think, one or two who vomited the first day and things like that. And the formalin which is used to preserve the bodies, it just doesn't agree with me. I continuously
Terrible.
have, my eyes are continuously running because of the burning thing. But I I really enjoyed and loved the dissection actually, because that was the first time I actually felt that I was a doctor. The other subjects, it was like just a continuation of BPC, physiology, biochemistry, and all. It was just like studying. Physiology was like another
Yes,
part of
yes, yes.
biology. Biochem was like continuation of chemistry. But anatomy and dissections, I really loved it, because there you get to, you feel like a
It's
surgeon
the
actually. You have a blade in your hand, you go inside and you see, and how marvelous God's creation is. Tiny,
Uh,
tiny nerves, tiny, tiny arteries, which, accidentally 1 little millimeter this way or that way, you just cut, and it, makes you humble to see that there's so much beauty in yourself. And uh, s- some of the bodies, they would be of people who drink alcohol, so you will see how much the liver has changed. People who smoke, how much the lungs have changed.
lungs.
So
Yes.
yeah, it teaches you how much, you have to respect your
yeah.
body. And I just I love surgery, right? So dissection was amazing for me. So many times, people would we had like 10 people per body. Each like body would be allotted to 10 of us. So initially everybody wanted to do the dissection, okay, but towards the end people would just sit and let someone else do, and they would just come in this end and see, okay, this is the structures and everything. But every single day I would like fight with the others and do it. And everybody else, all the other bodies, people would have finished dissection and they'd have sat down, but I would still be like going on and on, something new, something which other people haven't seen, maybe I'll discover. So I really loved it actually.
Quite an explorer, I would say.
That's
Okay. So yeah, Srijan, coming to those beautiful aspects of the body and the other parts. So we have seen that our technology is continuously developing, and our scientists are working hard to like bring a new kind of like technology into the human body itself. I have recently came across a article about gene editing. It was quite very interesting, and I feel that this is a new revolution in the kind of medical technology. So, like Sujan, like this gene editing, what are the new techniques that actually like which are coming up into the medical fields, and into in India or anywhere else? Like what are the new kind of technologies which are coming up, and do you believe that these kind of technologies or methodologies will transform the way of living, will actually add up our kind of life that we had?
Okay, so any field of science, whether it is engineering, medicine, or pure sciences, or whatever it is, science always advances. Science never stays still. There is nothing which in any field, whether it is engineering or medicine, if you compare it with like 50 years back, there is nothing which has remained constant. So science is always evolving, and I believe that you should, when it comes to science at least, you either go with the tide or you get left behind. So I believe that we should always try to learn whatever new technologies are coming up, because if you don't learn, there will be someone behind you who learns it, and then you will become redundant. There'll be no use of you. So you have to always keep updating yourself and keep learning new things. So yeah, gene editing is actually a very promising thing. So I don't think a phase will come when the human genome will be edited fetally, because there are laws against it, and
Mm.
it is not ethical. But I think where gene editing will help us a lot is in the developing new treatments, developing new cures, whether it is processing different types of bacteria to do different things for you, plasmids, so many, these type of things. And I don't know if any one of you have read this, but all of us know about the Moderna vaccine, right? So based on the Moderna vaccine, the company is now starting trials for vaccination of HIV. So till now, HIV was thought to be a thing which can never be vaccinated against, never be cured. But see, one COVID, because they developed it for COVID, it is going into that. So as technology develops, I think there will continue to be better treatments, much more affordable treatments, because all these bacterial things and all, they reduce the cost of treatments by a lot. So uh, in the olden days, cardiac surgery was the only treatment for a coronary artery disease, and cardiac surgery. You had to open up the chest and everything, and then stents came along, and what would take lakhs of rupees would just get over in a small, 1 day procedure. But one thing which we have to learn about technology is that as and when, as technology continues to develop, nature counteracts it, and nature ensures that also becomes redundant. So in the same cardiology thing which we were discussing about, so people started getting 3-4 stents put in, and then what happened, there was no other, you couldn't put stents anymore. So again, the old cardiac surgeries are now becoming popular again. So nature continues to dominate, and again technology tries to counteract, and it's a never ending battle. So it will go on and on forever. And some technologies I'm not actually a big fan about. So all of you know Elon Musk is developing the brain sensors thing, so there'll be some things implants into your brain, and based on that you can control and all that. I am not a fan of. I don't think I would at least personally want anything relating to technology or electronics in my body. I want my body to be the way God created it.
It's natural.
So technology always has drawbacks and technology always has drawbacks and positives. We must use our discrimination to take the best of technology, and we must use our discrimination to ensure that the drawbacks of technology, the cons of technology, we don't get addicted to. So all of us know about the over usage of mobile phones and everything. A lot of psychiatric patients we used to get were addicts of this, and because of that their vision is gone and they've become depressed and everything. So technology is very good, advancement is very good, but there are limits to it. If we remember that one thing, it's fine. You can use technology as much as you
The
want.
balance that we should maintain.
It's very easy. So, Srujan, your philanthropy has deeply touched us. Srujan is associated with many charitable works and has contributed a lot to the needy people. So, what, according to you, charity means?
See, charity, this is not my definition. This is something which I heard in school and which I think is an appropriate definition of charity. So, charity is when you need something, but you believe that someone else needs it more than you, and you give it to them. So, if a person who is very poor, he donates 100 rupees, and if a billionaire donates 100 rupees, both of them are not doing charity. Charity is when you need it, but you feel that someone else needs it more, and you do it for them. And it's not, I don't believe that you just give money and something will happen. I don't. Yeah, that is also charity. There's no doubt about that. But I believe more than just giving the money, you should take part in it. You should actively be a part of charity. So that's what I believe. You should go and do the work. So many times when I go to these local charitable organizations. Usually it's the Satya Sai organization. And when I do some work which is generally considered menial, which I wouldn't do at my own house, and the people around me will be like, "You're a doctor. Why are you doing this? You don't need to do this. We'll take it." I don't like that. I believe that when you're doing charity, you're not your status. You're not how rich you are. You're not how professional you are or how educated you are. Your true individual self, without all the tags, without all the attachments and everything. And as your individual self, you should do whatever you do. It doesn't need to be big, it doesn't need to be huge, it doesn't need to impact a lot of people. A simple act, every single day. The one thing I feel which I do is of charity is, most of the people who come to our hospital, they don't know how to read or write. So they'll be trying to ask around, ask sisters or ask attenders or someone else, can you write this form for me, can you explain this for me, can you show me where this is? And most of the people just don't bother. They'll be like, someone else will take care, I'm so busy already. But I ensure that it's not like every single time I do it, because sometimes you are absolutely in a rush, but wherever possible, I try to take the time to do it. So it doesn't, that is what I believe is charity. You should be selfless about it. You should see, when I go to, orphanages around, uh, I go and clean their toilets, sweep, give them bath and things like that. And I don't do those in my own house, because in my own house, someone else does that for me. But when you go out and do it as charity, you should not think about your status. You should not think about all those things. So you should do it selflessly. That's what I believe charity is.
That's what
That
I said.
was
He's
a
very down
mind-blowing
to earth, and
definition.
that's what I like about Srujan very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
Srujan. Uh, yeah. So yeah, like Srujan, please tell about your trust that you run, and like what are the methods that you follow out there? I have heard them from Sai, but I want to personally listen from you a bit.
So actually, my great grandfather, he had set up a hostel. So that hostel, initially it was for Hindupur. At that time, my hometown was a major railway junction, because there were no other stations almost like 100 kilometers away. So Bangalore, Anantapur, in the middle there was Hindupur. Bangalore is 100 kilometers away, Anantapur is 100 kilometers away. So anybody else in that radius who has to, who has to stay there or anything, they had to get down at Hindupur. So my grandfather constructed, great grandfather, in 1907 he constructed this hostel, so that anybody of any community, any social background, there was nothing of that sort. So people who get down from the train, they can stay there and they would be provided food. So after that, it was not being used that a lot for that purposes. So then my there are two very famous colleges in Indupur, SDGS and Government Polytechnic College. So a lot of students used to come. So it became a free hostel for those students. So for almost since 1930 to around 2004, it was a free hostel for students who were studying. After that, each college started getting their own hostels and everything. No one was staying there much. So in 2008, we demolished it and we built an orphanage there. So we take care of the maintenance of the building and everything, but the orphanage part is taken care by the Satyasai organization. So there are at present 34 kids in the orphanage. So we most of the day-to-day activities is taken care by the organization, but the building part and whenever possible the food and everything we donate and take care. And the children are also doing very well. Years old. So now one of them is a doctor, two of them are engineers, and it gives me a lot of joy actually to see those children. When they came, they didn't know how to, wear clothes. They didn't know how to take proper bath and everything. And now they are going to be people who help the society, because they are going into such good professions, and they'll have a monetary capacity of themselves and a service capacity of themselves, so they can serve other people. And once you grow up in an institution like that where people take such good care of you, you'll also be inspired, to help either monetarily or any other way to run the institution further, to maybe get more children and everything. So so happy. And during the lockdown, actually, for almost an year I was at home, right? So uh, we had some 5 6 new children. They were of different classes, different age groups. So one was 16, one was just 6, others were in the middle, and they didn't have much of a proper formal schooling. So for almost 7 8 months, every single day, 4 hours a day, I used to go, I used to teach them max, science and English. So these three, almost 3 to 4 hours a day at least, so as to conduct tests, as to give them gifts, so that they get inspired to study. And it was really nice actually. So there was this 16-year-old boy. He didn't know alphabets properly. He didn't know like addition, subtractions properly. Now, any school he goes, I can guarantee you that he'll be more than average at least. So when that type of transformation comes within them, it gives you a lot of joy. So yeah, so that's it. I'm really, really happy for them. I hope that they reach very high levels in their life, and they too contribute, and they too help society further.
That's really generous of you, and we wish that those children and all the people who are like all those children who are in your orphanage will get a better life, and they will be able to transform the lives to a better aspect of everyone around them. Isn't it, Safia?
Yes, I am mind blown. I'm still in shock
Yeah, that's
that
actually like
a
very.
person can make this difference. Matlab
Mm,
ki everything in the society is like, what can I alone do things?
yeah,
But a single person can bring so much transformation in the society. It's particularly evident by you, students. It's really great.
yeah, truly. So yeah, Sujan, that's how
Uh,
we wrap up our questions part, and now we enter into small elements of fun that we actually planned with everyone.
Sure,
So yeah,
looking forward to it.
so the first part is you can mention any of your friend or any of your relatives or any of you on like any of the person that you really admire, and we would be tagging them into our post. So yeah, you can leave a message for them personally.
any special message?
Yeah.
Okay.
It could be about anything like scolding or just mentioning them if you're grateful to them and all.
Yeah. So among the people who will be on Instagram, so I have to really thank my parents and my sister. So uh, throughout my life, my parents have always, put a lot of trust in me and given me the freedom to grow, to express myself, and to do whatever I want. See, they knew that this profession was tough. They knew that this profession probably was not the best for me, because I could have had a much easier life in our business. But when I told them strictly that this is what I want, they supported me immensely. Initially, they told me once or twice to reconsider, but they never said no. And it's not just that, many of my peers, classmates, and all, I've seen over the years, every single time they have to like go out for just having dinner or anything, they try to hide it from their parents. Every time they are scared to ask their parents for money and things like that. But my parents never let any of such things happen to me. I am always open with them, and they have never stopped me. So if I tell them that I want to go out for dinner, I want to go to some dhaba or something, they never said no. And I there was not a single time in my life I had to ask my parents for money. They would always give it to me beforehand, with the trust that they know that I won't misuse it. And it's like a reciprocal relationship. They will give you the freedom, and you should maintain it from your side. So for having such trust in me, for believing in me that I'll use my time wisely, I'll use my money wisely, I'll use my freedom wisely. So for that, I have to be really, really thankful to my parents. And then my sister and I, actually, we have like a 4 year age gap between us. So she always never saw me as a brother. She always almost saw me as a child. So there's not a single time I remember since my childhood where I actually fought with my sister. Generally, siblings, some other small fight or big fight, something will happen between siblings. There was not a single time that happened between my sister and me. So even till today, we are really, really close. So I have to thank my parents and my sister for being such a wonderful family to me.
Wow. That's
That's great to
very
hear.
much. Yeah. Lovely. I would say lovely it would be.
Okay. So coming to the other fun part,
Yeah.
this is our favorite part of the conversation.
Mine
It's like a
too.
rapid fire. You need to answer very quick. You should be quick. And its name is Kurkur Convo. Our great founder has gave that name. Okay. So weirdest or funniest patient you have ever met?
Oh, this is not going to get over fast. This is going to take hours if I
Okay,
start
like a
explaining.
single quality of him which was really different from others, or like which you really remember, which is not getting out of your memory.
What made you feel that it's weird or funniest?
Okay, this was a psychiatric patient, and every single day he used to, when we go out for the before the rounds, no, he used to come and the most bizarre, the most nonsensical of things he used to tell us. So one day he was like, "Rasamlo bonda takku undi." So I thought maybe it's confusing, and I asked maybe somebody bought bondas for him, and the rasam which was bought with it, maybe that was less. So I asked, bonda to pato rasam takku unda? He's like, no, rasam lo bonda takku indi. And every single day something like this.
Oh my
He
God.
was a really
Wow.
Okay, moving to the next one. What angers you the most about the hospital?
the bureaucracy of sorts. Like this particular thing, only ortho people have to see. This particular thing, surgery people have to see. Like we were in surgery posting, I know what has to be done. Let me do it. No, they only have to do it. And the other thing is writing. Oh my God. Even if the patient is in front of you and he needs your immediate attention, you have to ensure that everything is documented.
We
So
need to
first
take
we have to
case
sit
sheet.
and write everything, and only then we can properly start treating the patient. Like I know it is required for medical legal cases and all, but oh my God, it's so annoying.
It's very annoying. I
Okay.
agree with you on this point.
Quite relatable stuff, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, very much relatable. I could see myself. Okay. If you could bring something extend back to life, what would you choose? Yeah.
Oh, definitely, it would be, the initial people of medicine, because without without an ultrasound, without an X-ray, without a MRI, they were able to diagnose and do all those things without any technology. And I think over the years that knowledge has been lost. How, like by just touching, by just hearing, by just seeing, they were able to tell so much about the human body, which no doctor today can, because we have become so reliant upon technology. So I really want to get some of those people back and learn from them.
Amazing. Amazing. You're like doing
Great thought.
amazing.
But okay, I thought it would be something childish like dinosaurs or something like that. But okay, every boys have Avengers fighting fantasies and all. It's something beyond that.
నేనైతే డైనోసార్
Okay.
చెప్దాం అనుకున్నాను. డైనోసార్ చాలా.
See,
నాకు తెలుసు అదే
that's
చెప్తాను.
what I'm telling you. I've become sort of a weird person now, because entire day, 365 days, it's only medicine, medicine, medicine. So I'm happy that I'm having a conversation with other people. So at least something about the world I get again.
Apart from this patient, that patient stuff. Okay. If not medicine, what are you do? What were you going to do?
Okay, so if not medicine, my father would first of all very much like to get me into business, but probably civil services.
Okay.
Okay. So, who is your favorite superhero?
So among the ones, actually, I like Doctor Strange a lot. Okay, again, it is medical.
Wow.
Okay, Okay, if not Doctor Strange, Thor.
Thor. Okay.
Okay.
I don't like
No,
DC.
Finally.
It is
no. Like, if Doctor Strange, what quality do you really like? You can connect with him because you both are doctors or something like
no,
that,
no,
or
no. It's
something.
actually not medical. The thing that with a small, whiff of a hand, he can go from one place to another.
Acha.
Yeah, so those type of things, they're really, really interesting. And he didn't earn them through magic. He didn't earn them through technology or anything. He practiced them and learned them like from
Hmm.
scriptures type, right? So that actually attracted me a lot.
Okay. Cool.
Okay, then next one. Any weird fact about body or health?
A lot of people, whenever they undergo surgery or if pus develops anywhere in the body, they have this misconception that you're not supposed to eat dal, pappu. So if you eat
Yeah.
pappu, pus
Yeah.
increases. That there is absolutely no correlation. You can eat as much pappu as you want. You can eat pappu 3 times a day. It doesn't increase pus at all. In fact, actually, it is good if you eat pappu when you have any wound or infection because in a
It
typical
contains
vegetarian
protein.
diet, at least pappu is the only source of protein, and you
Okay.
need protein to build back tissue. So, okay, whoever is watching this, one misconception, at least one thing you learned from this, it is that
No,
you
I
can
would
eat
be like now personally telling everyone that whenever you have some kind of surgery or something, eat papu.
eat pappu, eat pappu.
Yeah.
Okay. Uh, what is worse, laundry or dishes?
Oh, it's definitely laundry, and you have asked a right person because from childhood, because I've grown up in a hostel, I had to do both by myself.
Okay.
So it's definitely laundry. Dishes are
Yeah,
easy.
presently I'm also experiencing.
Hostel memories.
Yeah, I've been in a hostel since the age of 6.
Oh.
Since the age of
Wow.
6 till now, and
Okay. Glasses or contact lenses?
oh,
Glasses.
glasses. I don't have either, but I
So,
feel glasses. Glasses. I feel that glasses look
Uh,
stylish
so
and
do
it's
you
all.
mean I look stylish in
actually
those,
it's
right?
like a personal question from
No, no.
Yash.
So he want to
He
say that I
wanted
look
to.
cool and
Yeah, yeah. You look absolutely
No,
cool
no,
with
this is
glasses.
self-dub. Okay, this is
thank you.
self-dub. You
I
don't need
actually
to get
not
it
now.
back.
Before I became a doctor, I seriously wanted to get glasses. So I used to dim the lights and steady in the night. They don't work much. I
It's
definitely
pathetic.
prefer
Don't
glasses.
get glasses. No, it
Yeah.
strains eyes too much.
Yeah, now after
Okay.
becoming a doctor, I'm so happy that I don't have glasses because it is tough in surgeries and all. So I'm happy that I don't
Okay.
have them.
Okay, emails or letters?
Letters are far more personal. They make you think more and they improve your language also. Emails at least are fine, but in this day of texting, I really feel that letters are good. We should develop the habit again.
Okay. Movies or books? What do you prefer most?
I actually should have said books, but it's been a long time since I've read non-medical books. So nowadays it's just movies.
Okay.
Probably in my first year I'd have answered books, but now it's movies.
Okay. So horror movie or a comedy one?
Oh,
Which one do you
comedy!
prefer?
I hate horror. I don't like horror at all. Comedy, any day comedy.
Ah, at this point, I don't agree with you. I love horror.
Yeah,
Something not relatable to us.
yeah, that's okay.
Like a person who don't likes horror but still does anatomy with so much great interest. That's
Oh,
quite
that is
contrast.
uh, if I get dreams of surgery, I
Uh-huh.
like them. If I get dreams of horror, oh my god! Nowadays it's better because I probably because I don't see horror movies much anymore. But I had really bad dreams after seeing horror movies initially.
Okay, I can imagine that that situation. Okay, so yeah, so this is a question. So if you could design a planet, what would it be like? Like what elements you would like to add specifically? Because our Earth is like almost covered with pollution now, no? So we would be next moving to the new planet, I guess. So what would be your planet look like?
Yeah, Yash
You
will be
know,
sponsoring for the planet.
Yeah, I will be the first person
the
to go there.
problem, Anisha's question, what would you want to bring back from from the past? It would be our planet from the past. Oh
Okay.
my God.
Thank God you said that.
How beautiful it must have been, even now when you go to pockets of the planet where there are no people, it's so beautiful. Really, we are the people who are
It's
spoiling this planet.
pleasant.
So definitely our own planet, but without, probably from 500 years back at least.
Okay. Your favorite movie?
Favorite movie, actually, it's a small movie called Emperor's Club. It's an English movie which hardly anyone would have seen. I don't think anyone has seen it, and all the people I recommended to hated it. But I don't know. There's something about the movie which I just can't get over. I really love that movie.
Okay, well, that's super cool. Favorite holiday destination that you would like want to go again, or you wish to go?
I have this dream of going to Muktinath, which has not, which is I'm somehow not able to go. There was one aunt near our house who had gone there, and she described it to me in such detail that from the day she described it, I want to go, and I've literally booked the tickets and everything twice. Once it got cancelled for some other reason. Once the final booking, everything was done, and because of COVID, it was
Ah,
cancelled. So I don't know when I'll go, but really want to go to Muktinath.
Muktinath. Okay, so
It's a place
Okay.
in Nepal, so it's mainly more than the temple. The journey, you have to trek through the Gandaki River, and Gandaki River is one of the purest rivers left in the subcontinent. So
oh,
the entire river is extremely pure, and the base of the river contains shaligramas. So not for the religious significance, but it's absolutely beautiful. The pictures, if you see, so someday I don't know when it will be, but I want to go to Muktinath.
yeah, soon. And now it's exciting me too. I would be like, next thing I would be doing is like browsing the place that you said, Muktinath.
Okay.
Same
Okay.
here. I was actually seeing to those.
Okay. So yeah, Srujan, this is the new concept that we added. So the first thing that comes into your mind when we say the word, okay,
Okay.
pain.
Paracetamol.
Okay. that's, that's the only medicine that everyone I think knows.
Nose. That's the one I said. Otherwise, I wouldn't have said paracetamol. I would have said Ultratex or Tremadol or something else.
Okay. Paradise.
Kashmir.
Okay. The first thing that comes into your mind when you hear that word, the
Hear the
scalpel.
word knife.
Yeah. Knife or
11
scalpel, something
numbers,
like
11 number surgical blade. I really
that.
love 11.
Okay. Money.
Necessary, but don't let it control you.
Cool. Life.
Enjoy it while you can.
Food.
Really love paneer. If I go to a restaurant, the starter will be paneer, the curry will be paneer, the biryani will be paneer, everything will be paneer. And there were days, when I would just the raw paneer just with one small dot of ghee, I would just fry and eat. I am obsessed with paneer. I really love paneer.
Wow. So a lot of calcium, I think.
Yeah, it's protein and it's good. It's good, but actually not too much also. But somehow I can't
Okay.
control myself with paneer.
So that was amazing, Srijan. I would
Okay.
like to really mention this because this was the most fun part we ever had of any of the guests we had. This was the most funniest and most
Yeah,
awesome
yeah. I was looking
rapid fire
forward
that
to
we
it
had.
actually
Yeah.
from seeing the previous ones.
Okay. So, Srijan, that was really great having a convo with you. But I would like to ask how it went. मतलब कि first, when you heard coffee and convo, what did you feel? What did you expect? And did we land up to your expectations?
Okay,
Any
so
changes
actually,
or anything we should change?
yeah. So actually, I really feel that it was great for me also to take part in this. And the first time when Sai mentioned about this concept of what you're doing, I was really excited by it, and I'm really happy to take part in this. I was a little tensed actually, because it's been a lot of time since I interacted with people, but you guys were really friendly. You made it such fun that I didn't even feel like I was being interviewed. So it was just like a conversation. It stood true to its name, Coffee and Convo. So it was a proper convo. And I'm so happy to be a part of this. Really a good effort from you guys, really good initiative. And it's nice to, know that a BDS student or dentist is doing something like this. That is really cool. So very happy to get to know you guys, and I think we're going to become friends. So yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was awesome,
సో
Sujan.
బోర్ అయితే ఏం చేయలేదు కదా నిన్ను.
లేదు. I really loved it. And probably, my the only advice I could give, though it will be nice for us if it was longer, but I think it is good actually that you're keeping this time, because other people may not be interested in listening to us for more than this. But I talking to you, I just feel like I can continue for 2-3 more hours also. So yeah.
Yeah, same
Yeah,
feeling.
we
I don't want to
too.
stop. uh, so yeah.
Hope I didn't
So
bore you
yeah,
for too long. All nerdy stuff.
No,
no, it was really
no,
amazing.
no.
కదా సఫియా, చాలా ఇంత ఫన్ ఎప్పుడు
ఇట్స్
లేదు
రియల్లీ
మనకి.
అమేజింగ్. అంటే ఇప్పుడు నేను యష్ మాట్లాడుకున్నా కూడా ఇట్స్ నాన్ మెడికల్ స్టఫ్. నేనేం మాట్లాడుతున్నా వాడికి అర్థం కాదు.
Okay.
బట్ ఇట్స్ సంథింగ్ రిలవెంట్ వి కుడ్ గో త్రూ అండ్ ఆల్.
Yeah.
ఓకే,
యష్ అయితే
సో
బాగా ఎంజాయ్ చేశాడు కనిపిస్తుంది.
నిజంగా
మీ
ఒక్క
గురించి
చిన్న
తెలీదు,
పార్ట్.
నేనైతే బాగా ఎంజాయ్ చేశా.
Yeah, one more small aspect that we need to add. So listeners, we have a special message from Srujan. He want to actually tell about the importance of vaccination and the myths that we have. So Srujan, please.
Yeah, so this is one topic which of late I've been disturbed by a lot. So actually it started from, one of our workers. He refused to take the vaccination. My parents tried to convince him, I tried to convince him. We used all the sorts of things we could use, and he was like adamant against taking vaccination. And then I started, going deeper and deeper into this, and I realized that, many educated people like us, who are in our youth, we are studying, and we are the generation which is supposed to, educate India, which is supposed to transform India, and many of us are, anti-vax. So it is really saddening, and I feel that we have a lot of influence over our parents, our surroundings, because people see us, they think of us as the educated, the bright, the future of India. And when we tell them anything, they will listen. So it's a request from my side to all of the viewers, please take your vaccine, get people to take the vaccine. You may have a small side effect, 3-4 days of fever at the most. It is definitely worth it. I have lost my grandfather to COVID, so I know personally how deep the loss is, and I know that it could have been prevented if he had the vaccination. Sadly, he couldn't at the time. So if it was today, I would have got my grandfather vaccinated. So please take your vaccine, and please ensure that everybody takes the vaccine.
Thank you, Srujan. Thank you for that amazing message.
That was a great message.
Yeah, everyone should take
Actually,
that
I
message.
see my patients
Part of
too.
this. No problem.
Okay, so that was Srujan with us. Srujan was really amazing and exciting to talk with. We had a great conversation, and whoever would be listening this would be having a great time of their life with this convo. And I would say you must not miss this. So stay tuned to Coffee and Convo. We would be catching up this Friday at 4 p.m. So till then, stay happy, stay healthy, and listen to Coffee and Convo.
Sure,
Bye-bye.
some love. Bye bye.
Bye everyone.